So I have a nice soft blur. Right? Those small little nuances you want to have. So I have it selected, and but I need to see the mask. I need to see the mask to see how much of a blur, right, that I'm gonna add to the edges of my red mask rectangle thing. And we don't see it anymore. That's where I want to introduce the eyeball. I'm gonna turn it back on. See this guy right there? It's been turned off by default when we activated these things. So I'm gonna turn it back on for now. But just remember, I need to turn it back off afterwards. Remember, remember, remember. So here, I turn it back on. I'm gonna type in blur. You have a whole bunch of blurs, right? Type in blur. I'm gonna choose, I'm just gonna choose Gaussian blur, right? Gaussian blur. Have your red rectangle for masking selected. Double click Gaussian blur, click, click. Zoom in. You can hold on the middle mouse button to kind of drag it. Hey, what just happened? So here we are. Gaussian blur, I'm gonna make it like, I don't know, 70. What the hell? Oh, right. So I turned on the Gaussian blur, I jacked it up to 70, but you notice that nothing happened, like nothing happened. You have to turn off this thing called repeat edge pixels. You have to turn this off. I repeat, turn this off, do not forget, turn it off. Bam. Now we have a nice soft blur. Don't bother asking me what this is, just Google it and you'll see what the hell they're talking about. Right? So a nice soft blur. Set to 70. Type in blur over here. Make sure you have your red rectangle for masking selected. Right? Now I'm gonna hide it again with the eyeball, uncheck it. See? Now I have a nice soft thing. See? So when I play it, right? And it still doesn't look that great, but at least you see it. Next, I wanna turn on motion blur. So I'm gonna shift gears, toggle switches, click it. We're back over here. What I wanna do is select this guy right there, see that? No. What I want to do is first click on this. Enables motion blur, click it. Then I'm gonna turn it on for each specific one that I want motion blur. See what happened right here? See that? Very nice. Now when I play it, remember these two and this. See how much nicer it is now? There we go. So that's how you do those, right? So you learned a decent amount of things already, especially the masking, right? You use this a lot. So be aware of these little icons that just happened, right? See what happened here, here, and this, right? This is your rectangle for masking, right? And remember review about toggle switches and how we activated this, right? We chose what we're going to use to help hide them, and then this thing got activated, remember? And then but we had to invert it because it only hid the red rectangle for masking, so I had to click this to invert it so it hides both of the rectangles, right? And there you go. That's how you set that up. These will be used a lot. This is bread and butter kind of stuff. Last thing I want to talk about is a couple of small effects. Like for example, echo. I'm gonna type in echo, right? I'm gonna click it. Boom, look what it did. See? Very nice. Gave you a little hot highlight here and extended it over here, right? And number of echoes. you have all this stuff. For now, just leave the hell alone, right? Don't jack with it. Just I'm gonna put like 2 for the number of echoes. It just makes it longer, and also extended the hotspot. See, I like it. Should I play it? Okay. And I want to do the same thing to the purple streak. So you can grab this, right? The one that I made it to the teal fat rectangle. I'm gonna Control C to copy it. I'm gonna select my purple rectangle and press Control V to paste it, the same dialed in settings of this number of echoes. There you go. Right. We did that. Next thing I want to do, and last thing I want to do, is animate the shape of the rectangular streaks. I'm going to press P as in Peter. Then I'm going to press and hold Shift and press S as in Sam. Right, S as in Sam. Press and hold Shift, then click S as in Sam. So I want to lock in my scale. Right? I'm gonna hit the stat right there. See, scale. Click, click. Then go forward up to here. I'm gonna go like that, and I wanna make it skinny. So I'm gonna do. You notice how I have my pivot point here, my anchor point, pivot point, whatever you want to call it. I want to make it, you know, scaling skinnier and skinnier. So what I'm going to do is, under scale, for say the teal, under this guy right here, was it this one or was it this one? Let me check. Okay, so that makes it left to right longer. So it's this one. See? Bam. Made it skinny. With this over here. But I had to unlock the constraint scale. And I'm gonna make it shorter. So under 100, right here. See? Bam. We did that. Remember where we are on the timeline. Same thing for the purple. You know, as a matter of fact, the purple one is down here. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I was gonna chuck it up here because it's on top, but I don't want to confuse you guys more, so I'm gonna undo it. Here, I'm gonna make it skinnier, and I'm gonna truncate it down like that. And then you see we can still see it here. It did not go off screen, so I'm going to go and go on the position. Right, I don't want both of it selected right now, the 2 diamonds. I'm just gonna yank it. See, this part got extended because of the echo effect. That's why I'm just compensating, pushing off screen. Then there's this one. Again, same thing. Push it off screen. See? Right. But I want to do something else as well. Both of it selected. Right. I'm going to hold on Shift. I'm going to press T as in opacity. Right. Go back to this frame. I'm going to turn on opacity. You don't see it again because of the masking effect that we did, but it's at 100%. I'm going to go to here, pressing K as in kangaroo. Right. it'll take you to the next keyframed area. Then opacity, I'm gonna turn it down to 0 so it fades off visually. See? See what I mean? But let's say, you see how it's fading off, right? The color. Let's say up to here, I still want it to be a little bit more vibrant, right? What I could do is, for opacity, I can select that and that, holding down, I believe, like shift to hold both of it. Ooh, but I'm kind of wary about, you know what? Yeah, I'm kind of worried about having both diamonds selected before and after. So I'm just gonna manually type in 75%, manually type in 75% for the opacity halfway through, so I can see it as more saturated with color. There, and we animated both of it. And then from there, you could just add, you could start stacking effects and presets like glow. Glow is another oldie but a goodie, right? I'm gonna grab, say, the teal, and I'm on kind of midway through the action. Zoom in using the mouse scroll, and I typed in glow, and I'm gonna choose stylized glow. You see this? RG stands for red giant. That's a plugin, right? RG. But we're gonna use stylized, just the default glow, and double click it. See what it did? And then you got all this other stuff, blah 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 blah. You could tinker around with it, but I'm just gonna leave that default for now, right? And then yeah. And I don't know, it kind of made it completely discolor, so maybe I don't like it. You could tinker with it, you could get some, alright, look what that did, right? Put it on top versus behind versus none. But you pick and choose, right? Glow threshold, maybe you can make it 100%. Glow intensity, you can make it like 5 or not, right? Glow radius, you could do things like that. That looks horrible. So yeah, glow operation, you can make it add, you can make it screen, you could make it, if you're familiar with Photoshop, these terminologies will look very familiar. So I just set it to on top and overlay. I got this. So I could just, maybe copy it, and then, oh, you can also change the color of it too. And then I'm gonna paste it to my purple one. There you go. But I kind of overrided the, you know what? It made, the glow made the saturation stronger, so you could try to grab both of the opacity keyframes, right? And maybe push it back. If I push it back, that means it's gonna, opacity is gonna kick in sooner. See this right here? Watch what happens. See? So it gets weaker, right? More sooner. So I'm gonna put, I chucked it over here. So here it's gonna be at 75%. Then it got weaker. If you look at the percentage of opacity. This is what I mean by you can stack effects. right? One on top of the other. And that's where you start to really have fun and stuff like that. Press an M as in Mary to close all the keyframes. Play, shift, pressing the shift. See? I'm gonna press U to show all keyframes. U as in umbrella. Right? Then you can start to shuffle around, offset the keys. Maybe I want the purple one to start off maybe a couple frames before or after, whichever. So what you want to do is grab all the keyframes, right? But you have to make sure to grab all the keyframes, and then I could either chuck it maybe a couple frames before, maybe around this much, right? See what I did for the teal rectangle? I chucked it back to offset the keys. And then maybe if I want, I can grab all the keys for the purple, maybe chuck it so it starts off later. See? And there you go. So that's pretty much all of that. And then you add in sound effects. I could just double click, and in here I can pick and choose whatever. I don't know, man, like say this one, double click it. Right, again I just double clicked in here, and then I can do that. Grab it, chuck it, press LL to show the wave, right? See? And then you start stacking more and more effects. Here's a little trick for sounds. It's good to stack where, say, one sound where it has a build up and a build down, right? So it has a reverberating effect. It trails off the sound. Then maybe you could add something shorter, like which one did I use? I don't know. Was it this one? Yeah, let's see this one. This is short and fast, right? I'm gonna dump it down here. Press LL. See how short that is? So you could blend it, right? So maybe put around here. Maybe I'll grab this instead and chuck it over here. Or maybe I'll have the short one start here. Maybe I have this start sooner. Maybe bring this around here. So you could hear that this guy here, it leads into, right? It leads into this. And if I think this is too loud, I can press just the L once, just press it once, and then the audio levels I can put like -7, because it starts off at 0. 0 is the default, right? That's why you put like -7. See? So it got a little bit softer. Maybe put like -5. And then maybe I'll chuck it over here. Maybe I'll go around here. LL to show the sound. See? That's where you can start to have a lot of fun. Anyway, so that's all of that. And then to quickly review about rendering it out, here we are. Go to composition. Make sure that you have this guy going on. Make sure you're happy with the amount of frames. Okay. in case if you have it all the way here, which is not necessary, right? Right around here. And then go to composition, add to render queue. Here we are, render queue. Click on the H.264, format options, jack it up all the way, and don't bother about, you could read up on target bitrate. It'll kind of bore you, but technically it's really good to know. For now, just jack it up to all the way across and hit OK. And over here, hit OK. And over here, you save wherever it's supposed to go. This already have a name because that was the name of the composition. And then you hit render. Bam. That's it. So that's pretty much everything. It's, again, this took 4 or 5 minutes, but it's not gonna be too bad, right? It's not stressful, right? And I explain everything and blah 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 blah. Here we are again. I'm just gonna toggle switches so you can go back to what you're used to seeing, right? And that's it. All right, that's the end of the tutorial. Bye.